And isn't that what anime is all about? The power of friendship and all that good stuff. Like, isn't that what anime is all about, boy? And what are we even talking about? Like, you're just gonna ignore what's basically the foundation, which is anime to gacha, but also the foundation of anime in itself, which is the power of friendship and all that stuff. Like, we're just gonna ignore that just to grandstand on somebody on Twitter. So come on. 新しい帽子とサングラスを持ってきた Well, snap. I guess it's been a minute, hasn't it? Stuff going on in these streets. I just turn around for like 2 minutes and it's fire all everywhere. People shooting at each other. People quitting. What the hell's going on, man? What the hell's going on? Some dudes in a time anomaly. Gotcha, Smack. We don't know. There's so much going on. And I'm not gonna lie, I just couldn't keep up. I just couldn't keep up. For those of you that don't know, I apologize for just vanishing out of the blue. That's why you should probably join my Discord and stuff like that. Try to pull up. And sometimes, listening to certain videos, because you might miss when I will give an update. But basically, I had to go visit family after 3 years of not seeing them. And sadly, the internet at my mom's place, for a lack of better word, as I not like to cuss anymore, sucks, to say the least. And I've been basically internet deprived, and it was so bad, in fact, I couldn't even do my dailies as I have a monthly pass. I couldn't even pull for Soy and Eroy while I was at it. I'm crying. Like, you guys must feel the pain I have. Like, I couldn't farm, I couldn't pull, I can't even play. I didn't even do the story all this time, saving it as a form of entertainment if I were to just be sitting there doing nothing at some point. Because it doesn't matter how many family members you're surrounded with, there will come a time where it's just you and you want to entertain yourself. And I thought I would just do just that. Well, tough luck, buddy boy. It turns out the internet at your mama's place sucks. Yes, hold on, let me calm down. But anyway, I'm back now, and it seems a lot has been going on in the space currently, and one video I kind of have to pull up on, and yes, this is me just coming back right now. This is the first thing I'm doing. I haven't even eaten yet. I miss you guys so much. I miss doing this so much. I even went with my laptop and everything, and I couldn't record the damn thing. That was so tilting. I could just keep trauma dumping on you guys all day, every day. I think just the part of you can't do the dailies while having a monthly pass and 2D anime baddies are out and you can't even play the game. I think it's enough for you guys to understand the pain I'm feeling. But and that's accentuated more with other stuff, as I like to do some of these hobbies too. So yeah, tough. But anyway, something caught my eye recently, and it is from our boy Arcado Zodan talking about quitting a gacha game because of the community. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we're not gonna sit here and pretend that I haven't heard people saying I quit Genshin Impact, or I can't even say I play Genshin Impact because of the toxicity and the negative PR one might have if people were to hear about the toxic minority that some of those communities have and may associate you to that minority because you happen to share the same hobbies. That's just a fact. Like, that's just the way society works. All right. And people quitting a game just because to, let's just say, avoid seeming like one of those, for lack of a better word, lost individuals. Well, it can be pretty tricky, man. Not everybody is willing to tank certain, let's just say, negative looks that some people can give you out there in society, out there in the wild, right? And for that reason, a lot of people can just quit. Another reason, of course, is, there's obviously the association that I just talked about, but also there's, this community sucks. And all of a sudden, this game looks weird now to me because the community ruined it for me, right? Maybe I had a casual outlook to it, or maybe I didn't understand some of the thematics, and all of a sudden, once I understand them, it can ruin them. Like, sometimes the community can just say, project their headcanons onto people. I've seen this trend a lot, especially for shippers, stuff like that. Nothing bad with them specifically, it's just that how hard they're pushed, and if you are to interact with certain parts of those communities, and perception, it kind of goes back to perception. I'm sorry, I'm being a little psychological here, but I feel like this is a very important matters to keep in mind as we dig into a topic like this, because the reality is people's perception and what they feel and what they live, specifically, not necessarily what they feel. For some, it is. What I feel is enough. That's reality. Facts be damned. What people perceive as experience is basically reality. And that's just an angle of the picture. But some people have a hard time understanding that. They don't necessarily fully understand that, okay, this was my experience, but other people's experience is going to be different. And it is a mixture of all of our experiences that make the full picture of said experience for, let's just say, the majority. All right. And in having to hear other people's opinions, other people's perspectives, etc., can be very tough for some, because everybody believes they're the MC. Only my perspective matters. Of course. Why should I care about what the others have to say? I felt bad. I didn't like this. Therefore, this game just sucks for everybody. It should, because it wasn't for me. But that's basically some of the things that I believe are probably the main reasons why people are just gonna quit, because of a community that's behind the video game, the product in itself. Because the reality is, it is quite the topic. Because when you think about it, like, you can just ignore the community, just keep playing the game. It's like, who cares? But unfortunately, not everybody is, let's just say, disciplined enough to just ignore and take out some of the aspects that matter to them. Because the people that will quit because of the community obviously care about social settings, how they can be associated to this, how, let's just say, the community can make them feel about a particular product. So many things matter. That's just me on top of my head, but I'm very curious to see what Arcado also have to say about such topic. I think this is a very, very important topic. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to not miss any updates.
I guess I better go subscribe to VXV Gacha.
The topic of today's video is one that I believe a majority of people haven't fully grasped the circumstances of, hence why I'm interested in talking about it. A few days ago, a Twitter user by the name of Para drew a lot of attention to themselves for posting that they're quitting Wuthering Waves.
So quitting WUA as a day one player, the game itself is great. Would recommend it to anyone interested in open world, but the community's toxicity has surpassed even Genshin's at its peak. I'm tired, gonna miss Chang Li. This speaks a lot. Oh yeah, this speaks a lot. See Para here. Shouts out to this guy or this lady. The fact of the matter is, they care a lot about the social dynamics that come with interacting with the community of the hobby they enjoy. I remember back in the day, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In Morocco. That's where I come from. And yes, I'm Arab, anyway. And the community at some point became toxic, where I still enjoyed the game, but unfortunately I had to interact with a bunch of stupid, to say the least, ninjas. All right, let's just call them that. All right. And unfortunately, I just decided that the fact that I have to interact with these individuals that obviously mean me harm, unfortunately, I just couldn't play the game anymore, at least not to the competitive degree I used to, because of having to interact with these individuals every time I had to go to locals or play in tournaments, etc. So I decided to drop the game completely due to me not wanting to interact with the social aspect that comes with the hobby, which once again, we go back to, like I said at the start, because these are some things I've lived and I've seen other people's lives, which I can easily, safely assume that this could be a big reason as to a majority of people why they will try to distance themselves from a game they enjoy, because of the community associated with said game. And it broke my heart. It really did. Now I'm back to Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything. I freaking adore this game. But the reality is, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the communities don't play a massive role, especially if you have to interact. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is tricky because you have to interact with the community. You play, it's a PvP game. You have to play against players. Now, for these, however, it's a little, less tricky because, well, you don't necessarily have to interact with the community. You can just play the damn game. But it's obviously not necessarily the case here, because a lot of people like to share about their hobbies and interact with the community, which can, as I just say, because of the toxicity, virtue signaling, and grandstanding that some of the minorities, vocal minorities, can, as I just say, participate in, can ruin the experience of people that just are, let's just say, a little too innocent in trying to share their passion online about these games. So it is what it is. Now, I want us all to remember that this is because a bunch of people like to be toxic about a video game that sells anime girls. Yeah, that's right. There's ruining it for everybody. Imagine ruining it for someone to not enjoy a game in Loserville. That's something else, isn't it? But anyway, you would think the rejects would be more open and social in wanting people in, right? Well, I guess that's still a tough proposition, huh?
A game which they were a
We just have to be that antisocial.
day one player of. The reason they gave had nothing to do with WooBa itself, which they actually still recommend to people.
Oh, it's just a Baiji crying. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, what a pig.
Rather, it's the community of Wuthering Waves that was the primary reason for their departure. This caused quite a stir within the replies and quote.
Oh yeah, I saw like there was 550 replies to 900 likes. You know it's going down in them replies.
Tweets from both the WooBa community and third parties with their own opinions of the situation itself and the responses that followed.
Okay, so we have Hoyo Shills and Kudu Bats going at it. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is quite the thing to come back to.
Now, I know what some of you watching might be thinking, but I actually have no interest in talking about the problem with the Wuthering Waves community or comparisons to be made with another community and WooWa. I instead want to look at a common rebuttal made towards the post, that it's not a problem because WooWa is a single-player game, as while this response at a surface level is a valid counterpoint.
Yeah, this is obviously going to be the social dynamic that's going to be happening. It was so easy to guess, it's not even funny.
It's actually a lot more complicated than that. Let's quickly go over the value of this statement before I give my counter.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to read these because he just shows them, but he doesn't read them. Okay, if you have to drop a single player, all caps, game because of the community, then you have zero personality and you're dumb as hell. Specifically, if it's a game you really like, lol. Now, at face value, you would easily agree with Ray here. Sure, I think it's very easy. But see, a lot of people like to enjoy things differently. The approach and how people like to enjoy certain things is different from person to person. A lot of people enjoy the social aspect that comes with playing the hobby. It's very important to them. It's like joggers. Joggers can jog solo. You can just jog solo, but a lot of people like to jog with groups. Basically, you hit with two birds with one stone. You are socializing and you're doing your physical activity. That's pretty smart. And this applies to hobbies like these as well, especially when you take into consideration we're in Loserville. A lot of people here are antisocial, a bit of rejects, may we dare say. I was one of them, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I can easily say it out loud, proudly. Especially when you look at the behavior in some of the toxic minorities over here. You know we have a bunch of rejects out here in these streets. And yeah, that's just people unfortunately may ignore this part right here and try to grandstand on these people because of their lack of awareness to it. But it isn't, if you're not aware enough in how people go about enjoying certain things, this is an easy dunk. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it isn't. And it seems simple enough. But unfortunately, people are just a little bit more complicated than you may think, especially when you look at the majority stuff. Okay, next we have in Gacha Twitter. They do not play single-player video games based off their quality and enjoyment, but instead based off of what complete strangers say on Twitter. I don't know what he's trying to say, but anyway, I guess maybe this is just too much Twitter stuff for me to understand. All right, next we have, I'm sorry, but like, why would you care about the community if it's a single player game? If you enjoy the game, just keep playing and have fun with it, man. Exactly. So I think this rebuttal was so easy to guess. All right, like I think it was so easy to see coming. And yeah, like I said before, it's just a little bit more complicated, requires a little more nuance and understanding of how some people like to go about certain things for you to completely understand it, which a lot of people don't necessarily have the headspace to want to do. Like, people like to navigate life as simple as possible, which is smart. But unfortunately, the more you interact with the community, the more you try to grandstand, and the more you're trying to come at people, I feel like the more you have to be somewhat knowledgeable in how people can go about certain things before you just, start throwing punches. But who cares? Because you can easily pile up a bunch of upvotes and likes for people that are as not knowledgeable as you are about this, because this is the first thing people are just gonna think of, like, freaking duh.
Let's quickly go over the value of this statement before I give my counterpoints. In the context of a multiplayer game, direct social interactions with other players is inevitable, and the actions of other players is a variable that you have no control over.
Absolutely.
In most instances,
Especially
your
PvP
only
ones.
options for dealing with a problematic player is to either leave the session yourself or report them and cross your fingers that action is actually taken.
Yes.
Gacha games being primarily single-player games do not have this issue. Other players cannot have a direct negative influence on your experience of these games under any normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Because of this, any
unless you have co-op on, and then they just could be like, hey, this person wants to join your world. That's like as far as they can go. Or you can just get some DMs, which you can easily ignore if you deactivate co-op. Like that says you're just fine.
discourse found on social media doesn't actually matter at any point while playing the game. You can simply choose to ignore it and continue playing, blissfully unaware of the toxicity running wild in.
By the way, I think this is the majority of players. I have no idea what's going on Reddit. I have no idea what's going on Twitter. I know on YouTube because that's my favorite platform of all time. And that's it. That's it. And because it's hard for me to ignore it on YouTube because I watch different stuff. You know, it's how I get news, what's happening in the world, etc. It's like I like YouTube, and that way I also see, because I also make content. Also, I see the things I'm interested in. I see Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I see videos about Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. And obviously, gacha games. So yeah, it's pretty hard to miss on YouTube. So yeah, but the rest, like I can easily ignore. So I'm close to the silent majority, but the silent majority don't even they probably don't even have gachas. They rarely see those.
Some unknown corner online. Despite everything I said above, I still believe it is a completely acceptable reason to quit a gacha game if you have a problem with its community.
Absolutely. 100%. Whether it's because you might feel like people might associate you, which could be a social debuff, or it simply just ruins the two birds, one stone feel you want to have through getting getting through your hobby. That is just like that. I so get it.
Because for gacha games, the community is part of the experience for a lot of people when they play a gacha game.
I like how he said a lot of people. Based.
Gaming as a whole has grown and expanded beyond what it was in its infancy, becoming its own culture through which people express themselves. The same goes for social media and its continued integration into the day-to-day lives of countless people.
You remember the days when we were kids and we would all group up in one guy's place? We'd beg their mom to let us all in, and we just go in and we just lock ourselves in the room, and it'll become so sweaty and smelly, but no one gives a damn. And we'd have these used up bottles of water, and we're just sitting there taking turns trying to beat Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid, and we don't understand that you just have to move the controller to another part, or you're just trying to beat Super Mario or whatever. I feel like since our infancy as well, interacting with video games, it has always been the case of we like to play these games and have a somewhat of a community feel as we interact with these hobbies. Is it just to me? I feel like on Spawn, like I remember being a kid and I was trying to have a group setting as I was playing video games. Two birds, one stone.
Gacha games themselves are their own subculture in gaming that greatly benefits from online interaction. Even the developers and publishers of gacha games recognize its value and actively pushes for social interaction and community engagement all the time.
But not too much. Not too much, because they kind of want to single you out, because that's how they get you. It's a little technique, because, you know, the OGs know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if you can tell. It's super obvious. Well, not super obvious. I mean, it takes years for you to recognize the pattern, but yeah, they want you to be social, but just about enough. The reason why I'm saying this is because why does co-op still suck? Why is co-op so bad? The reason why co-op is so bad is because they don't want necessarily people to interact with each other too much. They want the quality and the experience to be so lackluster that you would prefer to keep the PvE of it being the main way you tackle the game. And therein lies the catch, because again, they can't necessarily have you a little too aware. You know, you can't necessarily fix your loneliness issues through other players. You need to fix it through your 2D anime buddies. Sad, that's a business model.
Promote their product, but also to normalize their game as a subculture. Here's what you need to understand that is a key element to successful gacha games. Community engagement is a form of content. Engaging with online communities and talking about a game is a form of interaction with said game even when not actively playing it. You're still making a conscious decision to dedicate free time to something adjacently related and indirectly connecting yourself to that very ecosystem.
More importantly, people love validation. Like when they have a bias, they love to just hear that bias getting validated, and that they hear other people have the same opinion and reach the same conclusion they did. It's affirmation. It's very important to us. So that way we build our own character, and we start to trust our own opinion more, because a lot of people have insecurities within themselves. So the more they hear other people saying the same stuff they were thinking, that used to be me, by the way, the more they feel more at ease thinking and believing the conclusions they themselves reach. It's very important. So like, can you fault them? Like it's kind of human nature. Like, of course, this is normal.
And while this is not exclusive to the gacha genre greatly benefits from it because of the routine-like nature that these games cultivate out of their audiences.
Yes, right.
Forum discussions, videos, fan art, cosplay, memes, all of it and more can keep people engaged with a gacha.
How am I supposed to PayPal you $3,000 when Arknights doesn't have PayPal? Wait, hold on. I've seen... How am I $30,000? How am I supposed to? Oh, this is actually a playing on the fact that you can PayPal someone else through the PayPal bug. Snap. Okay, now I get it. I'm slow.
All of it and more can keep people engaged with a gacha game without them ever having to play the game at that very moment. If you were to take those away, then the only thing that's keeping them committed to a gacha game is their own personal interest for the game itself. And while there are those who have no problem with that, not everyone wishes to experience something by themselves in their own little self-contained bubble.
Absolutely. Especially when you take into consideration this is Loserville, and Loserville is usually filled with people that simply cannot necessarily fill with society. Well, you know, the normies. So, you know, they kind of need to fix that issue somehow, and finding like-minded individuals that play the same hobbies as you is a great first step to start fixing that issue in your life. So, yeah, this is a very vital component.
This is especially the case in the event of downtime near the tail end of an ongoing patch, as well as during those agonizingly drawn-out filler patches that every gacha will experience throughout their development. During these periods, the lack of content paired with the monotonous daily and weekly tasks is when a player is at their most vulnerable to hitting a breaking point with a game that they're playing every single day.
Yes.
Community interaction in that regard can step in to help alleviate that very fatigue as they await the next upcoming patch.
Freaking based. So true. So freaking true. We all know it. And we all know it. It's just that someone finally had to say it out loud. Freaking based. So freaking true, man. So true. 1,000,000%. That's the reason why I discovered the gacha communities. Because, well, technically, I discovered MTash because I wanted to do more damage in Genshin Impact through those videos. And then that led me to Tectone and the Staff of Homa stuff. That was funny. And I was like, wait a minute. This is fun. So this means there's a community behind this. I'm looking at the chat, looking at the comments, looking at the views. I'm like, whoa, snap. A lot of people like this stuff. I want to interact with these people because they like the same stuff I do. And here I am today. Yeah. And that helped me a lot, continuing playing the dailies and everything, because I can just, these games go beyond the daily activity. I can interact with the community and do a lot of fun stuff like what I'm doing right now. It's great. I know a lot of you guys do that stuff too. I know you are. We all do. Like it's a very important component for us, especially over here on YouTube or other social media. But basically the people that are active in social media, this is very important to us.
And it goes even further than that when we consider how communities can improve or enhance someone's experience with these games.
Yeah, I feel like they go hand in hand. So it's kind of like he says, you cannot have one without the other for the people that are obviously active in social media. These two go hand in hand. One might say the community is part of the experience of the game because of people, the type of people needing the community feel to keep up with the live service model of these games.
Sharing hidden or off-the-beaten-path discoveries that plenty of people end up missing, providing more content and...
Oh man, nothing beats how the community puts you on freaking game. When they give you the hidden quest, don't miss this, don't make this mistake. You know, we all know the videos with the thumbnail, do not make this mistake work, because when you see that, you're like, oh snap, this man is about to put me on freaking game. I will not be caught lacking. This man is going to put me on game. Hells yeah. And no one wants to be caught lacking.
been some valuable rewards. Story breakdowns and lore discussions that give those with a lesser appreciation for writing and world building a window into the attention to detail these games have that goes unnoticed by many. Personal advice that helps struggling players to push their account progression in a positive direction. All these things, and much more, are a near objective benefit to both casual and hardcore players of these games that goes beyond the basic desire of social interaction that a community can aim to fulfill. So while I agree with the idea that gacha games can be played and enjoyed without engaging with its community, the statement undermines just how impactful an active community has on a gacha game and its players.
He's saying the same thing. I adore this guy. This guy's so good. My man.
I'd like to go over some smaller talking points now regarding this before closing things out. If you're someone who thinks this is a gacha Twitter problem specifically and not a community problem, I'd agree, but also there's no real alternative that's like Twitter. When compared to Reddit, Twitter is far more relaxed in its moderation and isn't poisoned by the reward structure that is upvotes, downvotes, and karma points.
So that's a Reddit thing. I wasn't aware of that. I thought they were the same. I just thought they were the same. Okay, never mind.
YouTube lacks the same social features and tools that Twitter has, and putting together a video that acts as a vehicle for discussion cannot compete with a simple tweet in terms of accessibility and convenience for everyone. These are all the kinds of things that people subconsciously weigh the value of when choosing a social media platform. Twitter, of course, has its own problems, but its value outweighs said problems for countless people, so they will choose to continue to use Twitter. Another possibility is to curate your Twitter algorithm so you stop getting toxic and tribalistic posts. This one I don't see working effectively either. It's possible, but speaking from experience, algorithms work in mysterious ways. And even if you somehow manage to filter out all the toxicity and tribalism from your timeline, that doesn't account for quote retweets that you will receive from any accounts that you follow, which can include toxicity and tribalism. I just don't see a situation where you can—
I don't mind a small dose of tribalism. I just don't mind. It's a reminder, because sometimes you forget that stuff exists. You know, again, perception. It's easy for our minds to trick us that some things are gone because you just no longer see them, but they're just there. You just don't see them. You just don't look at them anymore. And I feel like a good reminder from time to time is not bad. And I do. I like my small dosage of tribalism. I don't appreciate it, right, as a concept for it being in the community, but it's a good reminder to see from time to time, though. Yeah, I would prefer not seeing it ever, but it's important that I do see it to remember exactly the playing field and the environment I'm in.
Effectively prevent exposure to these kind of things that isn't just creating an echo chamber or removing yourself from any and all Twitter discussions. And lastly, at the end of the day, there are people out there who like something because it gives them an opportunity to meet and interact with new people.
It's really that simple.
And I don't believe it's wrong
That used to be
to
me
want to
too.
experience something with the intent of being a part of something bigger than just themselves.
Yep.
Video games come and go as life goes on, but it's the connections we can make with others through video games that can be everlasting and transcend the confines of where they originated from.
Exactly. And isn't that what anime is all about? The power of friendship and all that good stuff. Isn't that what anime is all about, boy? And what are we even talking about? Like, you're just gonna ignore what's basically the foundation, which is anime, to gacha, but also the foundation of anime in itself, which is the power of friendship and all that stuff. Like, we're just gonna ignore that just to grandstand on somebody on Twitter. So come on. But yeah, so yeah, there it is, man. There it is. I think this was one hell of a video, man. I think this is one hell of a topic to have. I feel like this highlights the importance of having more nuanced and more understanding of how people go about things, and to not, let's just say, project how you or the people you hang out with, especially if they're all the same as you project how they behave and how you behave onto others that may be voicing something different than you or your group chat. I think that is very, very key. Unfortunately, not a lot of people have reached that level yet, but they'll get to it eventually. And see, world level requires a certain degree of level up, and as soon as they reach that level, they will unlock a new world level where they will start to perceive certain things. I sure couldn't do that before, but I think I can do it okay now, at least to a decent degree, where I can be more of value to people that may not see those things. And it's kind of what I want to do here, to hopefully bring you guys value that can not only change how you perceive the space, and so we can have a better space to share our passion, which are these games, but also hopefully become better individuals as we go about interacting with the social dynamics of what these games can produce, because you can see the importance of the community and the social dynamics that come with it. This is kind of what we're talking about here. And so yeah, I'm just trying to have, make you guys a little more geared up, and throw them 5-star equips on you guys, and so that we can navigate this chaos, a bit of chaos, because of that vocal, let's just say aggressive minority, how we can get from time to time, so we can navigate it the best, and also for us to contribute into a healthier space. And not only that, these are social skills that will help you even in your real life. Trust me, it will. You just need to find the opportunities for them to shine. So yeah, that will be me. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace in.